Just you guys, 2.4 practice. We did the first 3 problems together. I want to throw a video up of the 4, 5, 6, 7A, 7C. Bless you. In number 4, they tell me that the x-intercepts are 10 and 6. And so in this, now I'm in intercept form, so I'm in y equals a times x minus p times x minus q. P and q are the x-intercepts. So right here, 10 and 6 are my p and q. They also are telling me for number 4 that it's got a point that it passes through. The point it passes through is 11 and 8. I'm going to treat that just as a single point xy that I can go and use. First things first, step 1, y equals, I don't have an a yet, x minus 10 times x minus 6. I'm using a pencil, so I'm just going to come back up here in a few minutes and I'm going to erase my a when I find a value for a. I'm going to use my x and y. Again, I know what my videos to people that are watching might think they go really fast, but my assumption is that you're just mistake checking right now, not doing this for the first time. In these, my x goes in twice. 8 is equal to a times, this is going to be 1. 11 minus 6 is going to give me 5. 8 is equal to 5a's. Divide both sides by 5. And actually, this does work out to be 1.6. Yeah, it's not 1.6 repeating. It should just be 1.60. So if you wanted to, oh, that's not what I meant to erase. I like my 8/5 on my paper. I just come back in my third step and need to go take that 1.6 and plug it in. Sure. Now, problem number 5. Let me get my info over here for 5. I've got x-intercepts of 2 and 8. Those are my p and q. I've got a point. That point is 0, 3. That's going to be an xy I can use. So for problem 5, when I get started, y is equal to a times x minus 2 times x minus 8. I'm going to come back up here in a minute. When I get a, I'm going to erase and put my a value in. I'm going to plug in 3 equals a times 0 minus 2 times 0 minus 8. 3 equals a times negative 2 times negative 8. 3, 16a. Yeah, you don't have an unlimited amount of time. Question was, we can use notes on our test. Yeah, you don't have an unlimited amount of time. You only have your class period. So you need to be very familiar with what's in front of you. Because if you think you're going to come in and dig through your notes and sort it all out, you'll never get done. I don't know what that was as a decimal. I don't care. I like my 3/16, I'm leaving it. 0.1875 exactly? All right. Fair enough. I didn't have to round. I could use that. Fair enough on that one. So getting at that, I just went back and plugged my a back in there. Now problem number 6 here. In problem 6, they gave me my x-intercepts are negative 14 and negative 2. So there's my p and q. It gives me a point, this negative 16, negative 8. That's going to be an xy I can use. So I'm going to go first step, y equals a times x minus negative 14, which is going to be x plus 14, x minus negative 2, which is going to be x plus 2. Okay, that was funny. Now I'm going to go use my point. That sounded... I'm going to use my point. Y is negative 8. X is negative 16. I'm going to put that in twice. Negative 16 plus 2. Oh, you guys might have to help me with this because I know I can't do this math off the top of my head. Well, yes, I can. Yeah. Negative 2 times negative 14. So, okay, that's not bad. So negative 8 equals a times 28. A times 28. When I divide both sides by 28. A equals, you know what I do whenever I see a fraction that has even numbers? First thing I think about is, what if I took them in half? If I divided 2 out, I'd have negative 4 over 14. Those are still even numbers. If I divided by 2 again, negative 2 over 7.
That's because it's the decimal.
Like that? I like my -2/7 better.
So
-2/7.
No,
No, I actually like it better like this. It's exact, you know what I mean? Because I'm not sure if you guys are rounding and whatnot. So when we get down here, that's an exact answer. I just went and put it back in up here. Now, in problem number, and I'm going to move on because I'm making a video of this and I'll get it posted. Problem number 7. Problem number 7a. I've got my equation here already to see if you got it right. I got my equation here already. Is your a value 5/9? Now, this parabola, I'll work it out for you. This parabola, they're showing me a couple of things. They're showing me the zeros, -2 and 4. And then I actually see the vertex here. So first things first, write an equation of a parabola in vertex form. That is y equals a times x minus h squared plus k. And remember, h and k is the vertex. So then I've got my vertex sitting at 1 and 5. There's my hk. So I'm going to go y equals a times x minus 1 squared plus 5. And then the method is just the same. Like, I just need to use another point on that parabola to find out what the a value is. I'm going to use the +4 and 0. I could use the -2 and 0. Either one, we should get the same thing. If y is 0, I've got a here, 4 minus 1 squared plus 5. Now, when I do 4 minus 1 squared, that's going to give me 3 squared plus 5. I'm running out of room over here. I'm going to pick this guy up, you guys. I'm coming over this way. 0 equals 9a plus 5. I need to subtract 5 from both sides. Here's my 5/9. -5 equals 9a. Divide both sides by 9. A, there's my -5/9. Now, there it is. You had your 4 in the wrong place. It should have been a 0 over there. 4 was the x value, not the y. Now, this thing right here says, expand this equation into standard form. I want you guys to roll with me on this because I'm not going to test you on this right now, but we're going to actually do it. When it says expand this into vertex form, the first thing I want to do, or I'm sorry, into standard form, the first thing I want to do is multiply these binomials together. X minus 1 needs to be multiplied by itself, x minus 1. And so I'm going to go and take that group right there. I'm going to come off to the side here. I'm going to put together a little box, and I'm going to go and multiply these two binomials together using the area model. It always reminds me of like when you guys do your Punnett squares in biology class. X times x, and this square gives me x, or this corner gives me x squared. -1 times x is going to give me a -1x here. X times -1 down here, -1x again. Negative times negative is going to be a +1 right here. Now, how does that help me? Well, when I go back in here now, I've got -5/9 times all of this on the inside. X squared minus -1x minus another 1x minus 2x's plus 1. And I still have a +5 out here because this is just simply the x minus 1 squared. This expansion of the binomial x minus 1 times x minus 1. Now, this certainly gets a little ugly when I start distributing that -5/9. Y is equal to -5/9 x squared. -5/9 times -2 is going to be +10/9 x. 2 times 5/9 is 10/9. Positive because it's negative times negative. And -5/9 times +1 is going to be minus 5/9. But you know what I still have to add out here, you guys? I still got to do plus 5. How many ninths is 5?
4.
If I had to write 5 as something over 9, what number would go up top? What number divided by 9 is 5?
4.5. 4.5.
45 divided by 9 is 5, right? Yeah. Now, why the heck am I even saying that? I'm making a video. Why the heck am I even saying that? Well, isn't it like this? 45 ninths?
Yeah.
So negative 5/9 plus 45 ninths. This guy would be negative 5 plus 45. This would simplify to positive 40 ninths. Now, and again, that positive 40 ninths I got from negative 5/9 plus 5. That's where that came from. So this is standard form. Holy cats. That's standard form. Now, in part C, I hope you guys didn't work too hard in part C, because really, once you knew A from part A,
You got the answer.
you have the answer, because this is intercept form, which is A times X minus P times X minus Q. Our P's and Q's are negative 2 and 4. That's how I came up with this, X minus negative 2, X minus 4, and I already knew my A value was negative 5/9.
Yeah, I did that.
I already knew my A value was negative 5/9. Now, this next one wants us to go through and expand the equation into take this one into standard form. So I'm going to ask you guys to roll with me here and grab these two binomials to multiply together. X plus 2 times X minus 4. And I'm getting X squared, 2X, negative 4X, and negative 8 here.
That's C.
Yes, Kevin.
Actually, I'm on D. I'm expanding in my answer to C. So Y equals negative 5/9. I just multiplied these two together out here. X squared minus 4X's plus 2X's minus 2X's minus 8. Practice makes perfect. Now, how about distributing, you guys? Take the negative 5/9 through here. Negative 5/9 times X squared. Negative 5/9 X squared. Negative 5/9 times negative, well, that's going to be positive.
Positive 10/9.
What's 5/9 times 2? 10/9 times X. And what's negative times negative here? Negative 5/9 times negative 8 is going to be positive.
Positive 48.
8 times 5 is 40 over 9. Where did we see this before?
And other one up there. It's the same thing.
You get exactly the same thing going in at either method when we want to go into standard
So you
form.
can use either other way.
Now, this is up to you guys. This question number, part E, is on you. Which one do you think is better? And then actually the last thing that we're going to do on this problem, we'll go over how to answer questions like number 8. But I'm going to quit this video and we'll come back to number 8.